Well, hello everyone. Mystic Magic Lady here. Hope you're all doing well. The second day of November. Sorry, I had trouble uploading yesterday, so you'll get 2 videos today. All right, let's get into the energy for today, November 2nd, 2021. But as always, whenever you see this, will be the right time for you. Okay, what's going on in the collective? What's the energies we're feeling? Challenges and potential outcomes. November 2nd. November 2nd. November 2nd. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. There's a lot of cards here. Okay. Very talkative. Triumphant wants to come out. So this could be heavy energy dealing with the systems, okay? It could be dealing with rigid systems. So you may be having to deal with, you may work for a rigid system, right? But it could be dealing with governments. You may be dealing with government offices, court cases, structures, religions, organizations, or schools. So today's that energy. The police too. So, be mindful of that. When you're driving, be safe, because that could also indicate, dealing with the law. Police, courts, like I said, schools. It could just be your job, having to deal with, it's usually rigid systems, okay? So kind of playing by the book today and having to deal with the man, so to speak. All right. Some of you might be, for others of you, that somebody, it could also be someone that is like a close relationship with you that is maybe a bit rigid, tries to, maybe your partner or someone in the family could be, tries to rule everything and could be very, rigid and by the book, and maybe you have to deal with some of that. It could be with family, structures, and could be family, traditions, real traditional traditions. So you may be dealing with, if it's not an actual system or, work or school or court, it could also be a person who's just very old school type of person and could be rigid, and you're just dealing with that within the family. Let's see what the challenge is today, November 2nd. What's the challenge? What's the challenge today, November 2nd? Woohoo! Look at that. The unknown. The challenge. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. The universe is funny. Because you hear that chiming, that's my phone, and I'm like, oh, who's that? So it's the unknown. But that's the challenge today too, is perhaps being able to trust in the unknown. Because if some of you are dealing with these rigid systems, if you're dealing with a court, if you're dealing with a job that's, or all these structures or government stuff, or even somebody who maybe is very traditional, the challenge may be giving up, knowing the outcome, or may have a challenge trusting in what you don't know yet, and which is the future, right? It's always unfolding. This is also, it can indicate having a hard time trusting your intuition, or having a hard time really, trying to get in touch with your intuition or trusting yourself, especially if you're dealing with some rigid systems or some old traditions and things of that nature. You may be having a hard time accessing your own intuition and inner knowing, okay? Also, it could be, like I said, having a hard time trusting something that you don't understand yet, or, having faith in the future and the unknown. Let's see what the outcome is today. What's the potential outcome? November 2nd. What do people need to know? Okay. Sorry for that reaction. It's the Nine of Swords. Okay. So that's creating a mental a nightmare. That's anxieties and fears and really having to, having a lot of worry. So for some of you, there's definitely some heavy situation. Some of you might be dealing with a court case. Some of you might be dealing with, some hierarchy or, uh, a something that's, very difficult and rigid and some sort of system. Some of you might be just dealing with, having to get through the red tape through, schools or some governments or things like that. But whatever it is it's definitely challenging, and it's creating this challenge for you to really trust on what's going to unfold, which seems like is creating just a lot of anxiety and mental, getting in your head and your fears, and because you're having a hard time trusting in the universe, trusting in the unknown, trusting in what's going to unfold. There's definitely a lot of anxieties and fears that are going to be coming up. And I feel it's related to whatever the situation is that you're dealing with. That, like I said, is very structured. It could be rigid. It could be someone in the family. It could be, it's going to be different for all of you. Um, okay, let's, for some of you too, this could be a divorce or a marriage. Okay. And sometimes either one is going to bring about, having a hard time trusting in what's going to unfold, and can also bring about a lot of fears and anxieties, right? So that could be a situation for someone too. Let's just get a couple of clarifiers. I didn't get to do that yesterday, but this is a little bit heavy energy, and I just want to clarify a little bit more. Get another message here. November 2nd. Tell me about the Hierophant here. Okay, tell me about the Hierophant. Okay. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups and the Chariot. Okay, so for some of you, this is definitely something to do with a career or something that you really care deeply about, that you have been trying to nurture and take action on. Okay, so whatever that could be, a relationship, it could be a career, it could be, some of you maybe are trying to, I mean, it could be like I said, a marriage or a divorce. But the Queen of Cups, it's definitely something that is very close to your heart. This is putting a lot of nurturing energy and emotion into something that, and with the Chariot too, it could have to do. Also, this is like Cancer energy, or I don't know if you're dealing with a Cancer or have a lot of Cancer in your chart. But the Chariot is, taking action and being in control of your life. So there's something that, or someone perhaps that you're dealing with that has a lot to do with, your forward movement and taking action, either in a relationship or in a career or something you're trying to do that you're really been trying to nurture and care about. Let me see about this moon. What is this challenge? Tell me about the moon. Okay. Got the Emperor in reverse. So, excuse me. So that's kind of feeling out of control. And again, if you're dealing with somebody or some kind of system or something that it has to do with your forward movement and you're taking action on something, and there's this challenge of not knowing. So for some of you, there's, you're having a hard time trusting, and, having a hard time not having control over some situation. Okay, I feel like there's some situation that is a little out of control, and you're having a hard time trusting in the outcome and in the future, because you're dealing with another system or some kind of hierarchy or something that um, is making you nervous, is bringing up these fears, okay? Because you're having a hard time trusting and having a hard time with something that is really not in your control. Tell me about the Nine of Swords. Tell me about the outcome. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So, thank goodness you got the Six of Wands. So there's definitely going to be a victory, but after some time of having to have patience, because Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. So these fears and these nightmares and these anxieties over what you don't have control over right now and what's the unknown, you're going to have patience and really look at where you're putting your energy and really, again, nurture. There's something that you're nurturing. And so that's really taking the time to weed out what you don't need. And that could be your own fears and anxieties, right? That's going to come up. So, this is having patience and really nurturing what it is that you care about. And after a difficult time, I'm not going to say it's easy, but there is going to be a victory. Uh, you're going to triumph and have victory over something, but there's definitely going to be a need to have some patience and to be diligent about the work that you're doing or whatever it is you're working on. And it's going to be a challenge, but there will be a victory for you. Okay. Well, I feel better. Hopefully you do too. So let's see. Unicorns, just give us a nice little advice, a message here. Oh, got some light. Facing fears, giving up control, trusting in the unknown. Scary stuff, but if you do the work, you'll be victorious. That's kind of what I'm getting here. And those of you who are dealing with courts or, rigid people and systems, it stinks, but just try to have faith and trust. One step at a time. That's what the unicorn says. Thank you. Yeah, if you're dealing with that, it's just one step at a time. Lots of little steps make big dreams come true. Absolutely. So there you have it. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever systems, these rigid things, just, you have to give up control sometimes and just take one step at a time. If something is out of your control, just, have faith, because you will be victorious. All right. But one step at a time. All right. That's good. Don't get overwhelmed. And that brings, that could be, because the unknown, and maybe there's a lot of little things that you have to do and it's bringing up anxiety and fears. Just break down whatever it is that you have to do into little steps. Don't get overwhelmed by all the other details and all the other things. Okay. All right, my friends, I will leave it there. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you heard a message you needed to hear. And I'll be traveling for the next couple days, so I will try to post, but it may be difficult. But I send you all love and light. Have a blessed day. I will see you soon.